Good evening and welcome to Team Talk. I'm Harry Pete. Here's tonight's lineup. A roundup of the weekend's football action. We find out how to run a non-league football team. And find out how you can vote in our alternative goal of the month. With no Kent sides left in the FA Cup, this weekend's attention was fixed firmly on league games. Here's Keelan Webster with the best of the action.
We start with Dartford, who were looking to continue their promising start to the campaign against Poole. Both sides had 35 points as the game began, and it took the Darts 20 minutes to strike first. Dwana Fore Akiampong heading home the opener. Two minutes later, and a loose pass was pounced upon by Luke Wanadio. Did he want to score? Of course. Could he? There's your answer. The away side pulled one back before half-time, but Dartford held firm in the second period to keep the points. Elsewhere in the National League, Margate went down 2-0 at Maidenhead, but a 3-1 win for Ebbsfleet at Oxford City means they remain third, a point clear of Dartford. In the Ryman Premier, Tunbridge Angels hosted Bognor Regis, and they got a great start when Nick Wheeler raced to the byline to set up Nathan Elder to score after 13 minutes. Wheeler was at it again 20 minutes later as he assisted Alex Akrofi to bundle in the second. Wheeler was running riot on the flanks, and again his cross was accurate as Mitchell Nelson converted the third. Bognor Regis pulled one back in the second half, and in some style. James Fraser heading this fantastic volley to beat Antonio Di Bernardo. That superb strike was not to outshine Wheeler though, whose fancy feet met a man in the middle for the fourth time. Elder was on hand to notch his second, making it 4 goals for the hosts, 4 assists for Wheeler, and 4 points off the top 4 for Tunbridge. Folkestone went 10th in the same division with a 1-1 draw against Dulwich Hamlets. The Ryman League South saw Herne Bay host travelling Guernsey, and also saw the easiest refereeing decision of the weekend. Jack Delo, the culprit for Herne Bay, Jake Andrews, the confident scorer, into the top right-hand corner. The home side got a penalty of their own though when Mark Lovell went down with 12 minutes to play. Danny Walter stepped up to earn Herne Bay a share of the spoils. Elsewhere, Chatham struggles continued at Greenwich Borough. Hythe won at East Grinstead, although Sittingbourne blew a 2-goal lead at Lewis. Both Ramsgate and Faversham lost by the odd goal. And finally, in the National League, Maidstone and Dover both lost to Bromley and Dagenham and Redbridge, respectively.
Daniel Levy, Joel Glazer and Sheikh Mansour are all at the top of the tree at Premier League football clubs. But what about Jeff Talbot? The Chatham Town chairman has steered the club through some tricky times during his tenure. Tommaso Fiore went to the sports ground to meet him.
Chatham Town is Kent's second oldest football club, having been founded in 1882. It's older than most Premier League outfits, such as Liverpool and Chelsea. But being a non-league club is not easy, especially for those who are in charge of it. So what is it like to run a non-league club?
Difficult, fun and stressful. A fight day in and day out to make ends meet, and you try to get money from every angle possible. And we do, to be fair. We collect money from sponsors, from gates, from all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But it is a complete struggle.
Local sponsors don't come knocking at the door very often, but there is one which did, and makes the club somewhat special. MAPS is a social project for people with learning disabilities based in Medway.
We came to the football club as a community project to try and help the club reach more in the community as a social project. And out of that, we now bring members to matches, which brings more inclusion. And then we've set up Chatham Town's first ever disability football team.
The Chatham board will be hoping that this additional support will lead them back to glory days. Tommaso Fiore, KMTV.
Olympic skeleton champion Lizzie Yarnold returned to the ice for the first time in 18 months at the weekend. She finished 4th in the World Cup opener in Canada on Saturday. The Sevenoaks slider can feel unlucky to end up without a medal after finishing just 100th of a second behind defending world champion Tina Herman. Lizzie is next on the ice on the 17th of December. And time for November's goal of the month now. Here's a look at the contenders. First up is Tom Bean, converting this penalty corner for Canterbury against Loughborough Students. His brace in the match helped to pick up a rare win for his side this year. Anthony O'Connor rounded off this well-worked Sittingbourne move to make his way onto our list. A tap-in, but nonetheless worthy of a place in our goal of the month. Let's have a look at this one again. Tidy finish with his left foot past the goalkeeper. Sittingbourne's second candidate is Conrad Lee, who hit this sweet free kick with his left foot just out of the keeper's reach and into the right-hand bottom corner. Gareth Bale, eat your heart out. And finally, we've snuck in not a goal, but a hole of the month. Andy Exall getting in with this long-range putt, sinking it in the Kent Mini Golf Open. All votes can be cast on our Twitter poll. That's all from us this evening. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat using the handle KM_TeamTalk. We'll be back next Monday with all the latest sports stories from across Kent, including your roundup of the weekend's football action and coverage of Europe's strongest woman. Have a terrific week. Good night.